I got an interesting email about the 2011 Customer Service Hall of Shame. These are major players in big industries that have horrible customer service. And I was looking through the list. I'm a customer of a ton of these. You probably are too, Lewis.
3 of them.
So I'll just go through here. Citigroup. I have a student loan with Citigroup. It's absolutely impossible to deal with them in most cases. They are constantly sending out just an overwhelming amount of complex paperwork that's completely unnecessary. And in other words, I never actually need to fill out any of it. I just pay back my student loan and I don't need any of the paperwork. It's a huge waste, constant. And the few times I had to talk to them, they were pretty bad, but it could have been a lot worse for sure. Comcast. I have multiple Comcast accounts. We have the one here at the studio. I have one at home. The most absurd experience I've had with Comcast, as if you're anything like me, without changing your TV or internet plan at all, it probably gets more and more expensive every month just because different promotions that I don't even know I'm on seem to constantly be expiring. I mean, it's a brilliant system they have over there. Just raise the price and say I was on a promotion that expired. I called back and I said, how can we bring the bill back down? I mean, I think it started off at about $60 for cable and internet, and it went up to $120. Nothing changed. I had the same service. And they said there's just absolutely no way, but if I want, I can try reducing the number of channels and the internet speed. So I said, let's try it, okay? We do it. The internet was completely slow. It was a huge hassle. I lost half the channels I actually watched. So I called them back and said I wanted to upgrade. And they said, you know what? When you actually expand programming, you qualify for a whole new set of deals. So I ended up getting more than what I started off the day with for almost 30% less. What kind of a ridiculous business model is this? All I had to do was call and downgrade my service and then call back immediately and upgrade it. All of a sudden, they like seeing when people are upgrading service. I qualified for a whole new set of deals. By the way, I'm making it sound simple. It was probably 6 phone calls with 10 different people. You've run through that, Lewis.
Yeah.
Sprint PCS is on here. I have a Sprint cell phone. The customer service is absolutely horrendous. I will attest to that. But what's bizarre is that in another study of the best customer service among wireless providers, Sprint was tied for first in customer service. So things must really be bad over there that we're having conflicting customer service studies.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Bank of America. I have a couple of different bank accounts. I do have an account with Bank of America. Every time I mention it, I get emails from listeners explaining how Bank of America is one of the most corrupt companies and I need to leave right away. And you know what? I don't disagree. It's sheer laziness. It's the fact that I have so many things set up automatically with that bank account. There's ATMs all over when I travel. It's just incredibly convenient. I completely agree. That
AOL is on the list.
AOL is also on the list. That's
I remember
right.
back in the day when they were a big service provider.
I still have an AOL email account.
Yeah, but back when people were paying for internet service from AOL.
The dial-up, yeah.
The phone calls, people would record phone calls, and their customer service people were, I can't even explain it. Like, if you can look up some of these phone calls, if they're still around on YouTube or whatever,
yeah,
they're amazing.
You know, with a lot of these, it's amazing where I think I couldn't buy something if I tried. I mean, we've had telemarketers call the studio before, and even if I wanted to buy what they were selling me, it was just there was no understanding what was going on. There was no way to make it clear that I wanted to buy it. I don't know how these people are effective in many of these phone sales roles. I just don't get it.
Yeah, me neither.
I had a situation with, I guess I can say it, with United Airlines a couple of weeks ago. I fly almost exclusively on United, and normally I have pretty good experiences. I called them up and wanted to use frequent flyer miles to book a ticket, and they told me straight up there's no tickets available on that route with frequent flyer miles. Had I just said, oh, you know what? This is an employee of United. They must know what they're talking about. And given up, I would have just gone and booked a ticket with another airline. Went online, plenty of tickets with miles available, booked one in 2 minutes. How are these people adding to the bottom line of these companies? In other words, this rep literally just would turn away business from United. Admittedly, it was a reward ticket, so that it's not a revenue ticket for them. But you see what I'm saying, Lewis? They couldn't possibly make any money. They're just saying there's no tickets.
Or they assume, they say there's no tickets, so you have to pay for one and not use your miles.
No. This was the line for reward tickets. That wouldn't make any sense.